Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought we would do today is I have my large frog mold out. Gotta get some tape and clean him out a little bit better. So I have only used this mold one time and I did an eco pour in it, but I want to put some flowers in him. So I've got deep pour resin. I have my dried out roses that I want to put down in there. And I have 258 ounces in 2 different cups of my deep pour. So I have 16 ounces total. Now, resin does kind of go yellow a little over time, so I'm just going to put a little drop of blue, not much. 1 drop of this epoxy pigment blue. And then I'm going to get these mixed up. That blue will kind of combat the yellow. Alright guys, I'm going to mix these up, set them to the side. We're going to come back, try to glue some eyes in there, put our flowers in, and then pour our deep pour in. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright guys, I've got both cups of my resin mixed up. I've got my UV, my light. I will put it under my big light for 5 minutes just to make sure. Let's see, what color eyes do we want to put on him? There's some really pretty ones in here. Okay. I kind of want to do those. Those look really pretty, don't they? Let's use those. These are 12mm glass eyes. Got them off Amazon. Okay. Now let's see if I can get these down in there. Where's my tweezers? All right. Now, I don't know if you guys will be able to see or not, but I'm going to try my best to get it to where you can. I'm going to put a drop of UV right down in that eye hole. Now there is a bubble in that. On my toothpick here. Okay, it's already popped. Good. All right. Flip our eye over. I'm just going to set that right down in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the UV light. Go from the bottom first because that's where most of the resin's at. I usually don't have to do it too long with this light, but I do like to make sure he stays under the bigger light for much longer. I don't want to pop them out, and I'm hoping I don't get bubbles under them. Okay, now I'm just going to, a few seconds, get the inside here. Okay, let's see if I can get my other eye. All right, just going to pop some UV resin down in there. The lid back on that. Where's my eye? Okay. Good thing is with these eyes, yep, just fit him down in there. With these eyes, they are just pupils, round pupils, so you don't have to worry about the reptilian eyes trying to get them straight. These are going to be the same no matter what. Makes it a little bit easier. And with this mold, because you can get the light to go through it, You can cure it on both sides, which makes it great. All right, let's get this under the big light. Take that out. All right, let's see if I can get him to fit right up in there. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. There he goes. Both lights are on. All right, guys, I'll see you back in 5. All right, guys, it just kicked off, so we're going to pull him out of there and put this up. Get my tray, put it back in there. All right, eyes are in. Now, I'm going to put my flowers in first. They may float. I will have to trim some off, just because of they will be too big for this whole thing. So, but I'm just going to get these down in there the way that I want them. That one's just lost a petal. I can get that out. Okay. I think I'll just turn that sideways. And turn that one. And turn that one. And hopefully, like I said, I want the whole flower down in there. Maybe I need to turn him around that way, so I can trim the stems off. Okay. If I need to lay something over this to hold it down, I can. All right, so we got our resin. I did not put this in the debubbler because Sweet Pour to me does not like the debubbler. All it does is make more bubbles, but it seems to degas pretty well on its own. Just going to slowly pour this in. And Deep Pour is a thinner resin, so I'm hoping that it will get up in those roses and won't have any bubbles anywhere. And I also hope to put a backing. Well, he's lost another petal. Let's put that up in its head. Why not? Let's just throw that one down in there too. No reason not to. Okay. I don't know how much resin this little froggy holds. I probably should have thought of that before I mixed all this up. I do want to coat the flowers a little bit. Definitely floating. I think this would have been plenty for our first pour, but I mixed up a whole lot. And this is just 8 ounces. Get the rest of this out of here. Okay, I'm going to turn this cup over here upside down. Let it drain. Here we go. Now let's work with these roses. I'm creating some bubbles I can see. Okay, I think I'm going to have to find something else for the rest of this, because that is really all we need for now. And I have some little silicone pieces that I cut that I might set over that and then set something down on it just to help hold it down. But that is all we're going to do with that. So what am I supposed to do with the rest of this? Okay. Let's see what else we got that we can mix up. Just going to put you guys on a brief hold so I can find us another mold. See you guys in just a minute. Alright guys, I got out my caterpillar mold. I haven't made them before, but I have got these black decorative stones that I got from the Dollar Tree, along with these glass gems blue. I have some of these gold looking marbles with like a silver shimmer, and then the rest of these river rocks. So we're just going to use a little bit of all this, fill this up, and then pour that deep pour in it. Let me see, where's my scissors? All right. So let's just cut a few marbles, a few river rocks. I don't want those down this head. That's going to clog his head off if I leave it alone. Let's put a smaller one. There we go. You know, I got all those used up. Let's get some of these blue ones. I do want some color down in here. More black stones. Pour in more of the marbles. I hope I got some blue down in his head. I think I do now. Just want to give this all a good little mix. I don't want it all to be the same. Oh, there's a blue marble down in there. All right, I think that's plenty. Now, let's pour this down in there, and it should go right down in there fairly well, I hope. And I think 8 ounces will be perfect for this, where we filled him up with all those different stones. Now let's give that just a moment to see if we can get all that resin to fill him up, because his head is kind of empty. I can tell he needs quite a bit of resin down in there. Okay, pour in some more. Wish I could see it filling his head up, but I don't. Pour in a bunch more. Now I can see it filling his head up. And he's going to have some bubbles down in there that I'm going to have to work out, because I see one right up under his chin. So I can get that bubble to come up through there. There it is. Okay. He's still got a bubble in there. Think I got it. There it is. I see it come up. The rest of him I'm not too worried about. Just his head. Trying to get. I don't want anything sticking out of the top of him. There we go. See all those bubbles? I will watch this for a while, just to make sure that they all pop. Did you see that one come up? I think he'll be pretty. Okay. I don't see any bubbles as far as looking through the mold. Turn him around. And I don't see any this way either. Okay. Let's finish pouring what's in our cup. He might have a little room that we can do a bottom on him. Just a solid color, I think. Would look pretty. And he may not need it, because he's pretty full. Okay, scrape one last time, get out what we can. Go around it. That off. Alright, let's see. Last time around. All right. I might spritz him with some alcohol just to help pop those bubbles. All right, got that cup draining. Clean this off. Got resin all over me. Always. Never fails. That's why you always wear your gloves. All right. Whew. He's a little bit heavy. Okay. Those bubbles look like they've popped. I am going to get something to hold those roses down just a little bit. Breaking the bubbles away from the edge. A lot of times if you break them away from the edge, they'll pop on their own. And I will be able to put a very thin back on this. Okay. Another paper towel over here. Trip off. There we go. Now, just like little spritz. Alright guys, I'm going to put these stones up. These I need to put in containers. And I'm going to cut me a piece of my silicone to put over top of this and just set something down on it to help hold those roses down in there a little better, I think. They're going to be down in there. The thing is, there's a big bubble. I want them further down in there. I don't want them so far up. And it's just that yellow one. If he would just stay down in there a little bit more. I'd be okay. Alright. If they stay like that, I'm good. Alright guys, we will let these cure up, come back, do another coat on a frog, a final layer for our little catapillar. See some bubbles just popping them away from the edge. Okay. And I'll see you guys back when it's time to do second part. See you then. Alright guys, so this is cured pretty well. It's not completely cured, it's still a little soft. I've mixed up 8 ounces of deep pour that I'm going to pour down into our turtle here. I'm just going to pop a few of these bubbles that are along the top here. Alright. Good thing is this resin, even though it's deep pour, it does degas very well. And I don't have to put it in the debubbler. Alright, I just want to cover the roses over because I still want room to add a solid color on the bottom. But I want to be able to see my roses. And they did stay down in there very well, surprisingly. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to fill him completely full. So I do want to put a color. So let's leave that there. I think that's plenty. What do I got left? 2 ounces. This is a deep pour. Oh my gosh, deep pour takes forever to cure in little molds. Alright guys, let me put you on a brief pause. Well, I could go ahead and put some color in it and fill this one up. Let's do that. Let's do a blue. You know, I've never tried the TXpert Epoxy Pigment Blue. If it's opened, it is. Let's just squirt some of that in there. And I still want it to have a little shimmer. Tell you what, you know how I was talking about I had all those bags of mica powders? So I took containers and I just emptied all the colors. Didn't matter, dark, light, whatever, of the colors, and I mixed them up into these containers. That way I'll use them. So this blue has every blue that was in that in those packs. So I can't say what color it's going to end up being. Looks like it's a pretty blue. And I did that with every one of those bags of colors. So in the blue, there was probably 10 different colors of blue that I mixed. And every brand. I had so many different brands of colors. I had Let's Resin, K2 Pigments, Crystal, which was from some resin that I ordered, I think. So a lot of different blues. I had some eye candy blues. Some didn't have names on it. But, okay. Just want to make sure that mica powder is mixed up fairly well. Let's fill up this. He's not going to need near all this, but at least we can say we filled him up and he is done. Okay. Let that spread out. So I'm still got a few little things. Alright. Oh! I ran into the heater. I have enough to do that. I have enough to do that. No, we'll have enough to do that one. Okay, he's filled up full. Okay, I'm going to take this gold super sparkle and put in the rest of this, and then we'll just start filling up extras. Alright, I'm not taking much, just a little tiny bit, because I do want to see a little gold sparkle in these. I'll put the lid on it. That will fly away. Alright, let's mix this up. Oh, shoot. Got something in the resin I'm trying to get out. Just a second here. Got it. Okay. Fill this. You'll see that. Maybe if I pull my turtle down just a little bit. I don't want to dislodge the part that's in there. Okay. This little shell, it only holds 1.5 ounces, I think. So, I know I've got enough to fill it up. This is an inch resin mold. Okay. Now, this one is from Julie Art Studio. There's something in it. Get a piece of tape and get that out. Okay. Julie Art Studio. That's not level. Alright. Let's put him there. And it doesn't hold much either, but it's very pretty. It's got to push itself to the end. Okay. Now, this probably won't be enough to fill this butterfly up, but maybe. It doesn't hold much. I believe I will have enough to fill it up. Okay. Alright, guys. Got a little bit left. I don't know if I've got enough to fill this pendant up or not. Let's see. Pendant doesn't take much. I think I will have enough to fill that up. I gotta get that out. I'm reusing a cup and there's a few pieces of resin that have came off the side. Okay. Oops. I drip dropped. And there's gold that didn't get mixed. So let's mix that. Okay. Now. One time around. And I'm just going to dump that down in there. And there's more gold. Okay. Good enough. Anything left, it can drain out over here onto my mat. Move that out of the way. Alright, let's clean this stick off. Remove my garbage can. It's going to drive me crazy. Alright. Just a little heat, and you can see how that haven't even hardly touched the... Doesn't even really get down there, does it? Alright, guys. That is it. I got a couple bubbles under his head here. See if I can get those to come out. Okay, I think I got them. He will still be liquid when I get home this afternoon. It won't have changed much. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 99% isopropyl. Just give a little spritz to everything. And that will help to pop bubbles if they pop up by the time I'm not here. Alright, guys. We will come back when it is time to put our final layer on this big frog. thinking about if I want to pop some pearls in his hands, or I might paint up his legs a little different color. We'll see. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Bye for now. Alright guys, so these have cured up. What I'm going to do with my little frog is I'm going to take some chrome powder and paint his little feet. And I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm going to mix my resin first. I have 8 ounces in here that I have not mixed. I'm going to put some of this black pigment paste in there. And this is the Tea Expert epoxy pigment paste. And then I'm going to take some of this. Where's my little... There it is. Mirage Red from Small Tongue. It's a mica powder. I'm going to take a big scoop of that and put that in there as well. And I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up. And then I'm going to paint my feet and pour this in. This is the 1:1 Yongchun epoxy resin fast cure that I'm using. It's not deep enough to need deep pour anymore. But I think this will be really pretty behind that. So I think I'm going to take red chrome powder to his feet. And then put this behind it. Okay, it's not mixed up good enough, but can you see that red to that? Isn't that pretty? I love that. Alright guys, I'm going to finish mixing this and I'll be back when it's time to paint his feet. Alright guys, so I got my resin mixed. You can see all the bubbles in there where it's debubbling. I like this one, but this rose red I think looks prettier with the roses that are in there, so I think I'm going to use it. And it's called rose red, so isn't that pretty? See if we can get these feet painted. Now there is some resin up in the toes here already. So I don't know if you'll be able to see a difference when I pour the resin in, or if it will kind of blend, I hope. So it's not wanting to really stick a whole lot to the resin. I'm hoping I can get it to stick good enough. And just kind of speckle it down through there. Okay. Next little foot. I think this will be pretty. I hope so anyways. Speckle him down through there. Okay. This one up here. And I get stuff everywhere, don't I? Definitely not the neatest person when it comes to this stuff. I think I broke it loose on his foot, the resin. This one doesn't go up as high as the rest of it. So some black may get down under there. This one's got quite a bit of resin in his feet. Get on the sides. Okay. Maybe just put a little bit here and there to give him a little bit of that red look. Not a whole lot, just kind of thin. Okay, I think that's good. All right, let's put this away so I don't spill it. I like their chrome powders more than any of the other chrome powders brands that I have. Now let's just see if I can pop some of these bubbles that have came to the top. Okay. Couple more little bubbles popped up there. All right. Hopefully 8 ounces is enough to fill this little frog. I think it will be, but we'll see. See if I can do this without spilling it everywhere. Get that foot filled up. I may have to go around and start propping up some areas to make sure that the resin is level. Yeah, I think 8 ounces is going to be more than enough to fill this froggy. See that little foot over there? For some reason, just he's sitting up higher or something than the rest. I'm going to have to prop the back end up just to, it needs propped up like this. So let's see if we can prop this up to get that little frog to fill that foot up over there. It's almost like the mold is bent. You can't get this stuff to stay down. I have tried to. Yeah, see. Doesn't matter if that foot's propped up or not. It'll be fine. Then it's going to prop that foot up too much. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to stick this under here. And I think that might be okay. Maybe. So I'll run into the middle. And he can't hold anymore. And I still have 3 ounces. So he held 5. All right. Let's see. Can't say this is going to work because it usually doesn't. But I want to see if I can get that to hold down a little. There we go. As long as that'll stay, then that foot will be propped up. I can lower this back maybe. Maybe that will even out. No, it's draining his foot. There we go. What's so weird is okay. Maybe that will hold it. It's like this side is twisted a little higher, isn't it? I'm going to spill this everywhere. I know me. Alright. Best I can do. That leg's probably just going to be a little thinner than everything else. Try to find something to pour this black into. Alright. Let's find us some molds here. Okay. I'm looking. I'm trying to get certain ones and I can't find them. Let's do some turtles. Get this big sea turtle here first. I love this little diamond one. I think it's so pretty. I reused a cup, so there's a little bit of resin falling out of it. Got that one. Okay. And I think we can get this guy too. I've still got quite a bit down in there that I can scrape out to finish filling him up. Okay. Scrape the sides here. One go, because I can't get it all in one. Get all that down in there. Good thing about these handmade molds is they don't have to be filled all the way up. Because if you fill them all the way up, then you got more trimming to do, it seems. Alright. Go around again. Okay. Alright, I think he's full enough. Let's drain my cup over here and clean this stick off. Alright guys, let's take a little heat. This heat gun doesn't get hot enough to even hardly pop the bubbles, so it really doesn't mess with the molds. Alright. And that little thing just popped right back up, didn't he? I just Let's see if I can get that to hold down and that to hold down there. I may end up having to fill this one in later just to equal his little feet out some. Let me get that piece of tape. Alright guys, that is it. We will let all this all of this cure up, and we'll come back for a demold. I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so everything is cured up. You can see where my frog was kind of off level. He kind of overflowed it on this side and a little thin on this side. Just the mold is crooked. I couldn't get it to stay where it needed to be. So I'll have some trimming to do. And I'll probably just fill this up with some UV resin to even him out later. So let's demold all of our extras. This is our little turtle we did this morning. Oh, that's pretty, isn't he? He's got that interference mica in there. Really like that. And our next little turtle. He's got a little hair on him. I like the way that color comes out. It's really pretty. Our little diamond one. He didn't look so diamondy, does he? Well, I guess he does. Just the way you gotta turn the light. Okay. Let's get these little pieces off here. There's a little white piece from something. There's a pink on the bottom. Alright. He's cute. I love all these little molds. And I think all of these are from Into Resin. There is a 20% discount code and a link for their products in the description. This is also an Into Resin mold. This we did with the deep pour. It's been setting since about yesterday, so it's probably still a little soft. Take a little longer to cure up. Ooh, I like that gold in there. Look how pretty that is. I love that mold. This is an Into Resin mold. I love this little butterfly. He's going to be soft too. Pop the bottom and then you can pull the wings, the top off. Got something on him. Little piece of white resin. Ooh, I do like that. That's so pretty. Okay. Get those out of the way. Let's see, this is an Into Resin mold. It's just a pendant. Got a little trimming to do on it too. I like that gold in there. Okay. This one is from Julie Art Studio. And it's a cute little shell mold. Little druzy pieces inside there. It's really pretty. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why I have this under those molds, homemade molds bubble up my silicone, and that's what's happened here. These molds don't do that. Homemade ones do. So I kind of put them on something when they're curing, just so that I don't have to worry about it bubbling up on me. Okay, before we get these bigger ones, let's see if we can get some of this resin off of here that's on there, some dried resin. I don't want it to get on the bottom of my pieces. And this is just tape. It'll pull everything off the silicone mat. Glitters and all. Just rub your finger over it. Pulls it right off. Okay, let's do our caterpillar since he's the closest to me. This is the first time I've made this mold. Okay, I wanted to make sure the glue was cured enough that it's not going to miss shape on me. Alright, let's go from the tail to the head. I'll take a paint pen to his little face and the little dots. It's pretty easy to... Oh no! One of his antennae broke off down in there. It didn't fill all the way with resin. I wasn't thinking about his antenna. That's okay. I guess he's going to be getting a hat. You can see that little piece of resin down in there. Where's my tweezers? I got to get that out. I can't leave it or I'll forget it. There it went. Poor little caterpillar. We've had an amputation. He's cute, isn't he? With all the little rocks and stones in there. Man, he's heavy. Got some trimming up to do on him too. And then I'll paint around all these little dots. I do like him. Paint his little face up. Alright, now for our main event. Big frog. That I hope I don't rip a leg off. Because y'all know me. How do we get him started? I guess around his little butt. Now let's see. Pop out some toes. Okay. I can get right around there. There we go. Now let's see if we can get the other side. This is the one I'm worried about being so thin. Okay. It's not too bad. No, it's the front, isn't it? The front is the thin one. Okay. Alright. Pull this up. See if we can get that pop out there. This is the one that's overflowed, so it should be okay. Now, this side I do have to be very careful. There we go. Alright, it's not thin. Just looked thinner, I guess. He's still pretty thick. Let's get this off his head. Should just peel right off. Alright. Turn my mold back the right way. Got to clean up. Alright. Got some cleanup to do on him. Couple of bubbles around his mouth, but it's okay. Ooh, he's really pretty, isn't he? I love that interference in him. I just didn't get his head. Oh, I love those roses. I do got some bubbles down there under the yellow rose. But the rest look okay. Look at the eye. Isn't that awesome? I do like him. He's so pretty. Alright, and there's a bubble on that petal in his head. Alrighty guys, that's it. So, I'll see you back for the next video. Bye for now.